So something a bit different today. We're going to look at a free preset that I made for you guys that you can download in a link in the description. And it's one of my favorite amps, one that I still own actually. It's the VHT or the Fryette D60. And in this case, we're going to be looking at the D60 More model within the Fractal FM3 with some tricks. So here's the preset. It's comprised of 3 scenes. So a bass rhythm tone that's pretty gained up, a lead tone, and then a cleanish, I'll say cleanish, and delay plus reverb tone. And the way I've set it up is with scene controllers. So it's, as the name implies, it's seamless switching. So there's no gap when you go between the clean-ish and delay sound and then the gained up rhythm tone. So here's an example. So here's the cleanish delay sound. And here's the gained up rhythm sound. And now when I switch between the two, this is what happens. So usually when you set up different scenes and use different channels and switch the amp model, you'll get a small gap. This is something that's been addressed on recent firmware, or addressed, it's something that's been updated on, I think, the recent firmware for the FX3. There's gapless switching, so you no longer have that gap when you say switch to another scene and you switch to another channel of the amp. There's really good tutorials out there on what I'm doing here, which are scene controllers. So what's happening here is that depending on which scene I pick, it's changing the settings on the amp. So we'll switch between the rhythm tone and this cleanish tone, and you'll see all these settings change at the same time. So this is the main tone. And then when I switch to the clean tone, notice they all switch. And the way I've set this up is that I'm just using 2 values. So a minimum and a maximum. So it just goes between 2 values. It's the easiest way of setting up different tones. Obviously you can go absolutely nuts with this and use values in between, or any value that you want as a percentage between 2 values, if that makes sense. And I'm using 2 scene controllers. So scene controller 1 is basically the sort of clean and dirty on the amp. So clean and metal on the amp, shall we say. And the second scene controller, I'm actually just using on the filter block, which I'm using as a boost, to boost sort of the high mids. And you'll see that on the lead tone. So there's a slight boost on the high mids that gives a bit more of a, I wouldn't say cocteau kind of sound, but like a more of a vocal quality, I guess, to the tone. And then along with that, there's a gate, a multiband compressor, a delay in parallel, and then a reverb at the end, which I only use on the clean sound. I will note I've turned off the gate at the front, as I kind of prefer to use just a single gate that's set up in the sidechain style or key input style after the amp, along with the multiband compressor to control the chugs, shall we say, on the rhythm tone. And as it's festivus season, I've also made a backing track that I made using this preset from start to finish. It's sort of a melodic metalcore kind of track, which I made using the all 3 of the scenes to make a short track that will upload separately as a backing track on my channel. So you can solo along to that as well. And I'll play out this video with a short kind of solo over the backing track I made. So thanks a lot for watching. If this is useful, please drop a like and a subscribe. It helps me out. Thanks.